Imagine stepping into a courtroom where the loudest voice doesn't win, where manipulation isn't rewarded, and where brilliance comes wrapped in honesty instead of arrogance. That's exactly why Extraordinary Attorney Woo became a global phenomenon. And the most fascinating part? Its success exposes a massive cultural divide between Korean dramas and modern North American television. Because while American legal dramas teach you how to survive the system, Korean dramas ask a completely different question. How do you stay human inside the system? That difference changes everything. In most US and Canadian series, the main engine of the story is power. Characters fight for promotions, status, dominance, and control. Winning matters more than morality. The courtroom becomes a battlefield, and the hero is often the person willing to bend ethics further than everyone else. Think about it. Modern Western storytelling loves the anti-hero, the genius manipulator, the morally gray mastermind, the character who lies, cheats, or destroys relationships in the name of ambition. But Young-woo is the complete opposite. She doesn't manipulate. She doesn't deceive. She doesn't weaponize emotion. Instead, her struggle is internal. Her challenge isn't crushing opponents to climb a corporate ladder. Her challenge is overcoming sensory barriers, understanding social dynamics, and proving her legal reasoning in a world that constantly underestimates her. That completely changes the emotional tone of the series. The tension doesn't come from who will dominate. It comes from, will society learn to understand her humanity? And that's a radical shift compared to most Western storytelling. In North American shows, intelligence is often portrayed as dangerous. Smart characters become cynical, ruthless, detached. But in Korean dramas, intelligence can still coexist with innocence and emotional sincerity. Young-woo is brilliant without becoming cold. That alone feels revolutionary in today's entertainment landscape. And this difference goes deeper than writing style. It reflects two entirely different philosophies about society itself. American storytelling is deeply connected to individualism. The idea of I create my destiny. Success is personal. Freedom is personal. Even happiness becomes personal. Families in these stories often act like obstacles. Relationships become secondary to career growth. The hero succeeds by separating themselves from others. But Korean storytelling, heavily influenced by Confucian values, approaches life collectively. Success is never presented as a solo achievement. Young-woo's victories depend on emotional support, sacrifice, mentorship, patience, and community. The series constantly reminds viewers that human beings are interconnected. And honestly, that creates a very different emotional experience for the audience. Western shows often generate adrenaline. K-dramas generate empathy. That's why viewers become emotionally attached in such an intense way. The series isn't trying to impress you with shocking twists every 5 minutes. It wants you to feel understood. It wants you to observe tiny emotional details. Silence matters. Awkwardness matters. Eye contact matters. And nowhere is this difference more obvious than in pacing. American productions are designed for binge culture. Fast cuts, cliffhangers, constant escalation. Every episode needs a hook strong enough to keep you clicking next episode. There's almost a fear of stillness. But Extraordinary Attorney Woo embraces the slow burn. The drama pauses. It breathes. It allows conversations to unfold naturally. Instead of treating viewers like distracted consumers, it respects their patience. Every case becomes almost educational. The audience learns legal principles, social realities, even biological details connected to autism and human behavior. The show isn't just entertainment, it feels like a conversation. And visually, the contrast becomes even stronger. Many American series pursue gritty realism, dark lighting, heavy shadows, muted palettes. Characters live in visually cold environments that reflect emotional tension and moral ambiguity. K-dramas often do the opposite. Soft lighting, pastel colors, warm visual atmospheres. There's a dreamlike glow that creates emotional comfort, even during difficult moments. The world feels gentler, more compassionate, and that aesthetic choice reinforces the emotional philosophy behind the story itself. But here's the most important point of all. North American series often sell the fantasy of freedom. Korean dramas sell emotional connection. One says, fight harder, win bigger, be stronger than everyone else. The other says, you are not alone. And maybe that's exactly why audiences around the world are becoming obsessed with K-dramas right now. In a hyper-competitive world full of cynicism, viewers are exhausted. They're tired of characters who betray everyone. Tired of endless sarcasm. Tired of stories where kindness is treated like weakness. Then suddenly, a character like Youngwoo appears, honest, vulnerable, brilliant, compassionate, and audiences realize how rare that has become in mainstream entertainment. That's the paradox. A drama about an autistic lawyer didn't conquer audiences because it was louder than Hollywood. It conquered audiences because it was more sincere. And sincerity has become surprisingly rare. Maybe that's why Extraordinary Attorney Woo feels less like a television show and more like emotional therapy for an exhausted generation. If you enjoyed this analysis, subscribe to the channel, leave your thoughts in the comments, and tell us, do you think Western television has become too cynical? Or do K-dramas simply understand human emotion better?